Anyways, so that's what's going on. This game's very important, but it's the hardest opponent that they would have to play. They have to win every single game to stay in the competition.
Here we are, 3 bans in
so
on
we're gonna watch it.
C9 on the blue, RNG on the red. Lucian, Varus, Thresh removed, Renekton, Morgana, Udyr removed, Rumble and Lee Sin. The main picks that I see are still open.
Ooh, top Lee Sin.
Performance on it earlier in the Rumble stage. Looks like he's going to have another opportunity to do the same thing again. RNG. I imagine.
Wow, you're very smart.
The Rumble.
Wise,
that their Rumble
but we already knew that.
Duo is up and available, but that tempting
they did take Lee Sin.
Nautilus.
I don't know if I like that into RNG.
For grabs. The question is, what will RNG prioritize?
So Rumble's been going jungle in this, and I don't think it's that good. I've only seen it win once.
They will pair it with the Lucian. Depends on. I wonder how Xiao feels about the Lucian into Lee Sin matchup. I could see it being quite good for Lucian for a while, but it probably gets to a point where it's not that good anymore. I mean, he's just hovering champions now, isn't he? Like this.
I guess Vayne is.
Talk about hovers, Vayne.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is call back to RNG's old leader in Uzi.
The Kai'Sa, instead saying, well, we prefer having Nautilus for Ming, which makes a lot of sense.
Nautilus is Ming's best champion, so that makes total sense. He's a beast at it. Lee Sin's actually a top or mid laner. He's not a jungler right now, for those of you that keep up with Leona.
I like this
a lot of engage on the side of C9 right now. So the Ashe would be taken as disengage here because it has both the slow and every auto attack. It's W, which is an AoE slow, and then it's ult, which is a long range stun. But this is also disengaged, the Xayah, because she can press her ult and go untargetable for like 3 seconds. So RNG saying, okay, we see that you're drafting a ton of engage, so now we're gonna have to start thinking disengage because we can no longer beat you with the engage because we went Rumble.
It's the feathers you got to be careful of.
But RNG still has the go button with Nautilus and its ult. So there's that. He can press the ult and this traveling beam goes under and then pops up right underneath them and knocks them up. So they have some engage or a go button at least to turn the tide on things. I don't know why they're banning Nidalee. Nidalee would be a pretty bad pick here. But I guess Blabber does play Nidalee quite a bit. I would imagine that they're going to look at Kindred in the jungle maybe for C9 or maybe an Olaf. And then C9's banning out Gnar, and they're probably going to ban out another top laner. Maybe a Jace they're going to ban out.
It's harder to flex it on blue side, of course.
Yeah, see, so RNG had the same read there that I did. They thought that his most likely is going to be Olaf. So now he's probably most likely going towards a Nocturne or a Kindred, maybe even a Gragas. So I'm thinking they're going to ban Jace in the top lane here.
One of the junglers left, potentially a Volibear.
Let's see. Oh, they brought up Volibear. I guess Volibear would be a pretty decent pick. Orianna, so they're saying that they're trying not to give RNG the blind pick. The Ziggs would be very interesting. We haven't seen that all tournament.
Still a bunch of different options for C9 in that jungle role.
Yeah, so they left Jace open, so they're anticipating them to pick Jace here. See, yeah, so, this will be interesting. If Fudge loses against Jace in the top lane, we're in trouble.
He played when he popped off on the Lee Sin. It was into Khan instead of into Xiaohu, and he did fall behind in the early game. Khan was able to get 3 plates and get himself,
so let's see here.
20 CS lead as well, but
well, I guess so. NA has a tendency to do that. I'll explain what they're talking about. So essentially, Fudge had one really good Lee Sin game early in the tournament, and it was against a Jace, but he lost to Jace early. Like, he lost the entire lane phase, and then he dominated the late. So they think that they can repeat that, but it's against a different top laner and a different team entirely, and NA is really bad at repeating performances like that. So they fall into that trap pretty often. TL did that twice last year at Worlds. So they're going with the Volibear Zoe. I like the Zoe pick in the middle. So you have some disengage or long range engage and poke, whereas RNG here is going with Twisted Fate, which means that they now have a global ability to get someone back into the game. So This is going to be a really hard game for C9. They kind of have like this whole death ball composition going, whereas RNG can kind of split the map and do what they want around, play for picks. And if this Rumble can get ahead, it can be really, really hard for C9 to actually play the game. I really don't like the Lee Sin pick at this point, but we'll see. We'll see.
Bottle crab, perhaps?
Wow, Twisted Fate has a 100% win rate. That might be just because Cryan has played all of the Twisted Fate games so far this tournament, and RNG win a lot, but... Okay,
yeah, 1 in 5. Is C9 Cloud9 used to love them and Liquid back in the day for StarCraft 2? Yes, it is Cloud9.
I think that
yes, I'm really excited for the ML5 Star too.
He wasn't super proactive with the ultimate, but to be fair, he and Xiaohu generated huge amounts of pressure in the side lane.
I grinded E7 a ton while I was gone. Because I could just like set it up on my tablet while I'm leaving the room and come back and it would do like 20 dragon runs. But I really didn't feel like I got that far, just a lot of gold and worked on some equipment. Same, I'm doing the same thing, Big Meanie.
In the last game helps them out a bit as well because it means there's still only 2 wins behind Mad Lions.
I got my Clary to her awakened form or skill treed form or whatever, so I'm going to start working on that, which is a good timing with the Sinya thing going on. I can grind that and then buy all of the runes and stuff to promote her.
For our 3rd game of the day.
How you doing, Hunter, by the way? What if Jay is so unlucky that somehow E7 accidentally gives him ML3 selector instead? Oh. That would be my luck. I need the gold. Is there a better thing to run for that? I'm not sure who to work to. Yeah, Wyvern 11 is the best for gold, other than Wyvern 13. But I would still prioritize doing the event first. Hey, welcome in, Hunter. Welcome in. I'm glad it worked finally. We've been here the whole time waiting for you. Oh, they're invading top.
I think that they've had a lot of very good drafts. That I think they've been in winning game states, but
okay, so they just want the vision on the where Volibear's starting.
They're like, sure, they look better than their score suggests.
So Volibear's giving up on the blue start, and he's going.
It's a tournament.
Oh wait, no. I guess he just wanted to refresh his
and it's one of those
ward.
Things like, sure. I understand the argument, I understand the perspective, and I also think that it's like a very optimistic way of looking at things because moving forward, especially in these rematches, it means that there's still a good chance that RNG can take these teams down because you're like, oh, it was only like one mistake or one.
Xiaohu's waiting to pick out Fudge the second he appears in lane. Is he creeping in that bush?
Like, the problem is these teams don't make these slip-ups. Yep. These top teams don't. That's what makes them top teams.
So with Volibear starting here and Rumble starting here, you're going to see Volibear path down to... Oh. You're going to see Volibear path down to the bot lane here, and they're going to prioritize trying to get this Kai'Sa ahead, while RNG is going to move Rumble to the top lane and try to keep Lee Sin out of the game. C9 doesn't know what Rumble's up to right now, but RNG knows what Volibear's up to. So there's that.
Right? And even when they do make mistakes, they find ways to get back into the game. And RNG has a perfect example.
We were waiting for you.
Right? They were, even though the gold is even, they were behind. They were losing objectives. They were.
What's a stream without Hunter here?
Yet their clever use of side lane pressure, the way in which they found fights, was just so good that they were able to come back. And it's one of those things where Cloud9, yes, they've been close multiple times, and that is very frustrating. And it feels like that there are only a couple things that they need to change in order to
he went shield first. Interesting.
Yep. It's all good in theory, being close, but in practice you need to make
yes, C9 is definitely the underdog
to take down these top teams.
Like they probably have like a 5% chance of winning, but they have to win this to have a tournament life moving forward.
Top side, but now what is Blabber doing? Because he's not pathing towards the bot side of the map, he's actually looking for a top lane gank.
Oh, cheeky by Blabber here. They see like
a creative path. And they're catching Xiaohu out.
See, wow, let's go. See, I told you because he started here, he's going to come here. But actually what Blabber did was he came, cleared this, and then just ran back up to top side. So he knew that RNG had the ward right here. I don't know. Yeah, he knew they had the ward and had vision on him, so they knew that he was going to come here. So instead, he baited and waited for the ward to die, and then came back top, and they got the first blood. Amazing.
forward. Let the
Great
lane
play.
push into him. Blabber with a creative path for the first kill of the game.
And he's not going to get punished for it because his bot lane has the push. That means that there's no risk of Ming or Gala setting up any kind of deep vision. Yes, he's going to be very behind on his clear, but he's trying to be.
Let's see if they can get on him. He had to cleanse. Oh, they got two. They got two.
And this is the Blabber we saw in the LCS.
Let's go.
Stepping up now at MSI.
Kill after kill, love the aggression from Blabber. He now has his support to help him get the Scuttle Crab. And yes, he's going to be behind in clear speed, but it doesn't matter. He's getting his team.
Wait, how did he cleanse that then earlier?
He's doing work for his laners.
I guess he might have missed it. Oh, he's back. Uh-oh.
No longer has flash, and Perks can just flash forward, looking for the sleepy trouble bubble. Goes a little bit wide. He's stun carded. But here comes goes crying back to the fountain.
Let's go
for the second time in 3 minutes.
Fantastic.
What a start
from C9. Why
what
would
a
you
start.
bother trying to farm on a jungler that's not about farming?
Yep.
He's about ganking, he's about getting in your face, he's about making plays, and Blabber is doing just that. Beautiful stuff from the
Xiaohu is doing some deeps here. What are you doing, Fudge? You just TP back. What are you doing? Why?
Able to survive in the top lane, did go very low. Importantly, had just burnt his teleport to get back to the lane.
Why did he do that?
He's going to lose out on about a wave and a half.
That's bad.
He just had to back out.
He does not want to base. You can see he's staying.
He's got
does
the
have
torrent
sustain from his W as well. He's just popped a pot. Okay, so what Fudge is doing right now is, hey, Blabber, I know you ganked my lane. I know you got me a kill. Any chance you could come back again and help your brother out, because I am in danger right now. And he's going to need a little bit of help fixing this wave, especially with how healthy Xiaohu is in that 1v1 matchup. But Blabber, he needs to reset. He is level 5, even though he is... Well,
So C9 just lost all vision in the
on the reset, so he's going to
bottom
be
river.
ahead in XP because he's now killing, again, the second spawning of his camps.
Okay, so now they put a control ward down so they can at least see a gank from Rumble. Rumble's actually really bad at ganking, so we'll see.
Behind and farm, it doesn't matter. It's going to alleviate a lot of early pressure. They've burnt a lot of early summoner spells, and now I want to see him keep this momentum up, because look at where the wave is in mid. It's kind of frozen, which means that Cryan is forced to overextend. Wei is now pathing immediately up towards the top side, wants to get a little bit more vision, because he knows that if Blabber's going to make a gank, it's going to happen up here. And so he's reading the play, but he didn't actually get that information. The ward will come down. This will spot them out.
Blabber, of course, doesn't have the flash, used it in that mid lane play. Wei's going to try and burn him down with the Flame Splitter and has the Blast Cone to escape if he so desires. I was just waiting in there. Just like, Wei's just like, all right, I'll set up a little microwave there if you want. You can burn a little bit, but Blabber just keeping his top lane safe.
Perks. Perks.
A little bit of help. Blabber was there and he answered the phone call.
Oh, Perks is really losing out on a lot of these trades. He is not landing those bubbles onto Cryan. I think he's playing a little too aggressively. His HP is suffering as a result. He does, of course, have the corrupting pop, but the same can be said for Cryan. It means that Cryan is actually getting prio in this lane, which doesn't normally happen in the Zoe versus Twisted Fate matchup. Normally,
especially with 2 deaths,
that it's actually difficult for the TF to step forward. In any case, that means that Cryan has already started to move up towards the top side. Doesn't have level 6 just yet, but the threat of a dive onto Fudge is real. Fudge has just hit level 6. So has Wei. Let's see what happens as a result of this. That's a big wave stacked up for RNG.
He's going to drop the equalizer, that's what it's called. It's like a line of fire. And here it comes. They're bringing TF. Okay, so they're just dedicating the Perks TP.
To force RNG away, but RNG looked for that dive when the wave had already been cleared out, and because of that, C9 know the enemy junglers on the top side.
Oh no, it's resetting.
A little bit. Should be able to get it, but RNG do not want to give it up.
Where's Vin? Where's Vin? Oh, he's in base. Uh-oh. I don't know what they're doing. Does Vulcan not have flash? Oh, he doesn't have flash, so he knew he was dead. That makes sense.
So I think in the straight 2v2, Cloud9 could have won that, but they saw that Wei and Cryan were in mid, and
okay, that makes sense.
They were probably going to end up losing out. So I think it was smart to just leave your supports to the Wolves, give over that kill in exchange for the Drake, because it could have ended up much worse than it ended up being. But as you rightly said, RNG tried to make a play up towards top side. I wasn't keeping track of Cryan's summoner spells. I'm not sure if he had another summoner spell or if his TP was on cooldown as to why he couldn't use it, but as you rightly said, he came to top lane far too late. Lee Sin, E, wave clear, very fast, which means that Fudge was able to clear that one out, and then the TP response from Perks. The fact that Perks TP'd at the same time suggests to me that Cryan's TP just came off cooldown, and so, yeah, either it just came off cooldown, or they held on to it a little bit too long. In any case, RNG are not able to find a successful kill top.
Do you guys want me to go full screen mode and put my camera right here?
Blabber's right behind.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate.
Let's do that.
Would have hit if Wei hadn't harpooned the Razor Beaks. However, Wei is forced out of his jungle. Will not get the spawn of his Razor Beaks. Blabber will take them, and Perks with control of the mid lane is able to work with his team. Vulcan comes across, catches the wave, will hold this for Perks, so he can keep building that slight CS lead he has in the mid lane. Did miss the first minion, but he gets the second, so that is all well and good. However, because of that, Vulcan being away from his lane, Sven now has to step back, has really been playing on the weak side of the map for the majority of this game, and because of it, has lost a plate. Wei is down here as well, but Vulcan is just going to step forward and ward it as Blabber, understanding that Wei is on the bot side of the map, has started up the Rift Herald.
All in all, though,
Really good stuff.
Chilling, you know what I mean? Right, so if we have an opportunity to look at the gold, we can see that probably there's an advantage for Xiaohu in top lane. Even though he died, he has a huge CS advantage. Advantage in bot lane as well, because of the plates that Gala was able to get. So, yes, the gold is even, but what's important here is that Cloud9 is able to find some momentum.
Oh, okay. Went out the trade, but no longer has his ult.
He's just going to use that as a point of pressure to set up maybe even a dive, because that's a stacked wave. Cryan, though, going to respond. Is he not? Oh, wait.
Wait, they called it out. Interesting.
Does he know that he knows?
I don't think Cryan knows, because Blabber's on the chase. Sleepy Trouble Bubble goes a little bit wide.
Yeah, they got the flash out of him, so that's good. All they had to do is stop the base, but he has an empowered base.
Cryan had no idea how close Blabber actually was. But he ends up getting away. Cost him his flash, and now
Oh, nice timing.
Ultimate there. Blabber with the Stormbringer to get himself to safety through the hook.
Nicely done. RNG, though, not slowing down on the map.
So for those of you that don't really play here, essentially this Nautilus here through his hook, which is supposed to drag Blabber, the volley bear, up here back to him, but because Blabber used his ultimate, he goes unstoppable and is still able to jump forward. So good timing by him, but he did have to burn his ult in the process.
So we're kind of in a neutral state,
but he was dead otherwise.
C9 are not at an early deficit. Now, admittedly, against some of these top teams, they've been in this position before. Against RNG, they were at a massive early game deficit. Yeah. That was the Lee Sin game.
Wait.
No, it wasn't. It was the
I don't know what you're looking for.
Why can't I remember? Lucian! Okay. It was the Lucian game. Because they had the Malphite top, and then they played heavily through top, and then they tried to, and then they took that tower extremely quickly at 10 minutes. I had Lee Sin stuck in my head, and I was, anyway, Lucian. That was the Lucian game top from Xiaohu. And then, of course, that was where C9 got that huge teamfight ace. Yep. And they were waiting because they were coming out ahead in the teamfights. This time, though, they're keeping the gold even in the mid game. And I would say that their team fighting is a little bit stronger, I think, just because I think that Twisted Fate isn't the strongest team fight tool. You're playing very much around your cooldowns, but you could say the same thing a little bit about a Zoe. Sure. It very much depends on kind of what crowd control lands, what skill shot ends up hitting from the side of the Zoe. But I think these fights are going to be exciting, for sure, because we saw Fudge did have a fantastic performance the last time, really kept a lot of those fights very, very close. Not that game, different game, because Fudge was not on the lead.
Good hit there.
That was against Dalmokia.
I feel like this is deja vu. Okay, they actually see Blabber this time.
Okay, that's what I mean. And I'm excited to watch them fight because they're in an even gold state.
I've enjoyed this descent into madness, but let's get back to this
just
game
not coming out.
Blabber's going to clear out the control ward.
So Rumble has to give up this scuttle.
Vulcan has done a really good job of roaming up and helping out Perks and helping out Blabber whenever they've needed it.
Okay, missed that. But if they actually went in, Vulcan was dead there, 100%. So I bet they wish it actually hit.
Dragon available for them. Of course, Blabber still has the Rift Herald, can chuck it down here and use that pressure to then roam down towards the bottom river with his mid laner, with his support, and gain control as a cohesive three-man unit. Make sure the Rift Herald charges first, of course, because you want that plate gold, but then they can work their way down towards that bot side river and look at securing their second dragon of the game.
Perks wanted to try and get some of that gold, but with
I don't know they can do anything about this dragon. They don't have the timing anymore. We might... Okay, so Jace is backing right here. He's anticipating that if they have to fight over dragon, he has TP in. But now we see... Yep, see, here comes the Jace. Here comes the Lee Sin here as well. So Vulcan's probably dead. Okay. What is Fudge doing? He's going after the... Oh, Fudge is huge. Fudge is huge. Whoa. Okay. Okay, push Volibear off, but I don't know if he can get him. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Cloud9 set that up beautifully.
Holy Lee Sin. That was amazing play by him.
Beautifully played from Cloud9, and they had the double TP, and I think the reset from Perks was so important because he was able to spend his money, then come back into the fray. Vulcan, the stopwatch was so clutch because you think that he's just going to get melted right off the bat, but he actually buys so much time for his team that they're able to re-engage. Fudge arrives, and then the team fight goes in favor of C9. They should be able to get this.
Okay, he has smite.
He is going to die for this.
Okay, but that's fine. They got second Drake, but they have to trade over two. So 2 of the deaths that they have is actually related to giving up dragons. You definitely do that. You trade 4 kills for, or you trade 4 deaths, not 4 kills, 4 deaths for Mountain Soul, or Soul. It won't be Mountain. It could be Mountain. It is Mountain. Mountain Soul.
And he continues to impress here, trying to escape from the Destiny. Klein has locked in the gold card. Fudge doesn't really have anywhere to go. Zhao, who's going to dive onto him, and maybe a little bit of a caster curse there.
Oh, he almost got out.
For as long as possible.
RNG immediately back out on the map. They get the kill onto Blabber. They get the kill onto Fudge. Now they're 3-man bots.
At least C9 knows something's happening in this bush. Uh-oh. Get out, Vulcan! Run, Vulcan! Run!
Spot that one out.
Okay, so top is still in a rough spot, even though he got all those kills earlier. Okay, so Blabber could try to 1v1 him.
And Way, that's really where the differences come from, and huge props to Blabber.
He's gonna smack him off. Okay, but he did a smack after he got stunned, so it canceled out. So he's dead, 100% dead. Let's go.
Blabber's feeling it this game.
I don't know where Solo Bolo came from, but I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Standard jungle. Instead, he's all about ganking, all about making plays. So here we can see RNG collapsing into the river. The flash in, the hook does land onto the Volibear, and then Vulcan soaking up a lot of damage. Here's the stopwatch. The
Goodbye, Crying.
Pops a stopwatch of his own. Now he does have flash, but where's he gonna go? Nowhere.
Let's go. It went on Fudge too, so he's 4-1-1. That's huge that I ended up on Lee Sin there.
9 kills to 4 up. 2 dragons to 0 up. Last time they played against RNG, at this point, they were 2,000 gold behind. Now they are 2,000 gold ahead.
Vulcan and Blabber, man, they're just moving around the map. They are getting busy. Looking for plays, looking to get aggressive, and they're finding them. They're finding pickups.
Yeah, and Kaisa really isn't that far behind despite Vulcan and Blabber never there. Well, I guess they are about to give up this tower, so that's huge, because that's first tower. But it's enough. They're up by 1.5 like K gold, 1.3K gold, and they have 2 dragons, so that's good. It's kind of scaling comp for scaling comp though. Both top laners die off. I guess Lee Sin has better sustain into late game because he went with the Stride Breaker over Jace, since Jace is behind right now. And Rumble isn't that far ahead either. But the whole bot side of RNG scales really well, and those are their like primary playmakers. So I'd say it's kind of close to even, depending on where the dragons start falling.
Champion that he has a lot of comfort on and a lot of success with domestically, and now he's playing the Zion now. That doesn't mean that he's a bad Zion,
he hit him.
Minion wave arrives at the wrong time here.
Wrong, yeah. Unfortunate. And he doesn't have Ludens. He went with the Everfrost, so if he had Ludens there, at least the splash damage would do something to him. But since he went with the Everfrost item, which will root people in place, he has less damage.
And win out on those team fights for RNG.
For the moment, though, C9 very happy with this state of affairs. You can see Sven alongside Vulcan off towards this top side, looking to take their first tower of the game. There is still a Rift Herald in Blabber's back pocket. He can use that to crack open that mid lane.
So we see C9 taking top, but what actually should be looking at is mid lane, because when they see the ADC top, versus the Zoe in the mid. You see how they're basically stalking out Fudge right now. They were debating about going after the mid laner there, but okay, so you better get out. Yep, goodbye Fudge. Oh, he's alive. Does he have anything else? He has his flash. So that works well. Oh, that turns out perfect. They're going to get mid lane for this too. So they did. Yeah, they opted to go for the Lee Sin over trying to pressure Zoe in the mid lane. Maybe because Zoe had Everfrost and Stopwatch.
I think this is just a really good punish from C9 and a big overcommitment from RNG. Because if they did get that pick on,
it kind of got lucky.
Drake becomes a very easy contest for them. However,
it might have been the right decision by RNG. It's just that Lee Sin passed in a way to keep him safe.
Great MSI so far. 4-1-1 on the Lee Sin right now. 700.
And they have all this vision in the bot side jungle right here. They have like 4 wards down there. So that kind of says to me that they were anticipating putting pressure there in terms of trying to get to Dragon.
Shoot that to the moon.
But now they have to give up this Dragon completely because they missed out on that pick. Oh.
For the LCS representatives, the Battlestar hits, the Dragon being started. This is the third of the game. Cloud9, they are in control of basically everywhere on the map. Only that top lane, really. RNG have the push in right now.
RNG have been cross-mapping across the board. It's how they've kind of kept the gold even for a while. You can see, once again, only back down to about 1.5k gold difference. They've done a really good job of getting themselves early plates.
He said back down to 1.5k, but I think that's the highest that C9's been at this game. They were just at 1.3 last we looked.
They're mid tier 1 for a long time, but they lost tier 2 bot, tier 2
and 2k gold isn't, or 200 gold isn't a lot of gold, to be completely honest with the state of things. It's pretty hard to even cash that advantage in compared to where it was earlier. 1.5k is a little easier because you can buy any piece in the game if it's on one person. But 1.5 is still very much manageable unless they cash it in.
It is definitely still terrifying to deal with. As while all those silent shenanigans are happening, Gala is silently farming up.
My wife just started the vacuum, so let me close the door.
He often is in so many team fights for this RNG squad. So C9 looking good, looking confident, but it's too early to get optimistic just yet because they've had leads against teams before. Hell, they had a lead against Damwon. And then slowly but surely, Damwon climbed back. The question is, can RNG do the same like they already did earlier in the day? Right now, it's looking good.
And like I was saying earlier, and the broadcasters just admitted as well, C9's been in every single game that they've been in, so the point of the game they're in right now is pretty par for the course. They've kind of just thrown every late game.
The battle of wards. Who has information on who, and is someone overstepping? A single pick could swing that into a battle.
I'll pause it real quick. So last time C9 played RNG in this tournament, C9 opted to go for the Baron, and they won out in the Baron. But the issue is that RNG decided to do that, realizing that because if they decided to finish the Baron, that they could just go to the bot lane, and with 2 people, they could potentially take the inhibitor before they had the chance to back after Baron. And that's exactly what happened. So despite C9 having the entire game under control and about to win, RNG pulled a sneaky one in bot lane and ended up taking the inhibitor, and C9 lost the game.
You see Cloud9 will gain control of the Scuttle Crab as well. Fudge, after pushing
yeah, rip them indeed.
Starts to work his way up towards mid and then realizes he is not required. His services are not needed, so he'll work his way back towards the bottom lane. Would love to see him try and get that tier 1 down there, but of course you can't overpush, you can't overextend against a Twisted Fate, because in a moment, in a breath, you are surrounded by the enemy team. That Destiny can be so deadly when you try and play out a map state like this.
I want to also highlight Blabber going for the Zhonya's Hourglass. Yeah. He's about to complete it as well. So he's going to have the extra bit of durability. The AP scaling on this champion is actually quite good.
I mean, Riftmaker Volibear was a build for a while in top lane.
Yes, it was. So I like the Zhonya's. Give the team a little bit more durability, a little bit more stalling power. We'll see how it plays out as the fights are soon to come. Drake spawns in 2.5 minutes.
I feel like these fights are just, they're always on the horizon. We had one really cool fight.
Well, RNG don't want to fight anymore, you know? But RNG's very good at that. You know what? No.
Oh.
Well, we will meet you later.
Sneaky little play. I don't know why he didn't just stay there. I guess he was anticipating getting hit off and change damage, but I think he could have pulled out more damage there.
Now now's your opportunity to get it.
Yeah, you've got a minute. 50
But he's a
seconds.
professional top laner. I'm not, so
Need a quick
he's
bath
probably
break,
right.
Beverage, grab a snack. Now's your opportunity, because that is when hell is going to break loose. Level 13 now for both AD carries, 13 for both mids. Small level advantage for Blabber and for Fudge. You imagine that those will be closed as the next Drake spawn. 2 items completed for the vast majority of players as well.
And the broadcasters are talking about, if you see at the top left, it says 133 on the Drake.
They do it well.
We're going to see a gigantic team fight at that point in time. RNG cannot let it go, and C9 would use that time to potentially, unless the map status changed, use that to throw their gold around and try to take another team fight while they have the advantage, because they know that RNG has to take this Drake. Because if RNG takes the 4th Drake, they get the Mountain Soul, which basically makes the game very, very hard for RNG to come back on, because C9 would then have a bunch of shields to their name.
Squishy, you know, you don't have a big tank that you have to work your way through, so the collector gives you just that little bit extra.
So in 56 seconds, we can anticipate some sort of action, if not slightly before that, when C9 tries to get a, or RNG tries to get a pick to make that fight easier.
In this river right now, we've still got 40 seconds before the dragon comes up, and you can
See, that's why you see everybody moving towards there. Everybody's anticipating this being the move by both teams.
Herc's just pushed in mid, pushed in top.
Making his way down to mid. He does have the cleanse right now. Cryin has the ghost.
Oh, C9's going.
Way has to flash away. Ming jumped on here by Blabber. That's the flash out as well, but Cryin has a really good
Cryine's on the backside, so because he did that, he was able to pull the carries away from the main fight. So you can see they're not going in because they don't know where Cryin is currently.
Every engage tool from Cloud9 has been used.
Well, I guess they did with that word there. So
still has ult, Ming still has ult, so does Fudge, and so does Sven.
we're seeing C9 kind of get like this tightrope around. They're not really pulling the trigger on anywhere. Okay, they just tried there. Okay. Oh, here we're gonna. Oh, Fudge! That was huge. That was huge, Fudge. He baited the ult. Okay, we got to break that down. Holy cow. That was, oh my gosh. I can't, I hope they tell you in the replay, but essentially what Fudge did there was he jumped in knowing that Gala, the ADC, them had the trap set up. He knew if Gala pulled E while Fudge was in between him and the end of his E. Okay, so they got Dragon Soul. Then Lee Sin would have been dead, but he knew it was going to do that, so he threw a ward on the other side, jumped to that ward while the E was coming in, so he didn't get baited by the E, and Gala instead got baited by himself. So then C9 could take everything they wanted and a little bit more. It's huge
for them qualifying for the semifinals. The momentum swing that they need to get back in.
Uh-oh, Vulcan, what are you doing?
Into a position for those best of 5s. So much credit has to be given to Blabber for his fantastic early game. Vulcan has been coming up clutch in the mid. And then it was Fudge in that fight that made the play, that got the pick onto Gala.
Okay, so they're going to break it down. Watch Fudge right here, the C9. Keep your eye on him. You don't need to watch anybody else the entire time. Watch him. So
and then this flank from Cryin forces the flash out from Sven, and you're like, oh wow, C9
Gala's gonna walk up because of what Blabber does. So here's Fudge here, but watch Blabber. Blabber's gonna run in, he's gonna flash and everything. Okay, so you see here, this line right here, if Gala pulls E and Blabber doesn't do what he's about to do, then Blabber's rooted right there and they can burst him down and kill him. And so that's why it's crazy that Fudge goes in also in this E range. So now Gala can stun twice of them. So he goes stopwatch, which means that if he pulls the E, he doesn't take the damage. Fudge hits Ming and then jumps in on Ming. That's when Gala's like, haha, I got you. You're in my trap.
Very early, and then look at this play from Fudge.
So he goes in, but then he puts the control ward over there. Lee Sin, his character, gets to jump towards. So he did that instantly, knowing Gala would pull the E in. So you see all those lines coming back to the Xayah. That's the E. And then Fudge flashes over the wall so he can cook the ADC back into position for the rest of the team to follow in. That was just genius.
And that's the reason the collector's so important.
He baited everything out of them.
So well played. You can feel the hype
Baited
from the
everything.
You can feel the hype from the NA fans. Mountain Soul. This is the best position they've really been in against a top team, one of the favorites for the tournament. And now they need to start playing for the Baron, getting control up towards the top side vision. They have the top wave pushed in. They have the beginning of the vision being set up. It's all about those control wards. And now they're starting off the objective. This is it, Cloud9. Patience is crucial here.
No flashes anywhere, Bedius. If you are caught, you are down. Baron down to 7,000. There's the Destiny. Perks lands the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, manages to get away. Wade looking to get in from the back here, but Fudge is going to kick him away, and that Baron is secured. Cloud9 will get it. RNG now on the road.
There's not really a chance for RNG to get that. Oh, the follow through. Okay. Oh, you see this line right here? Gala pulled his E the wrong, or threw his ult the wrong direction. If he threw it this way while retreating this way, all of these people would be in the E range. But since the line is here, nobody's going to get pulled by this. I guess he got rooted by further ones. So that was a pretty big outplay, or a misplay by them. Because if he ulted in the right direction, then C9 couldn't really push through.
As you rightly said, Medic, they have the Baron buff. They have all 5 members alive. Oh, it looks like Fudge has the TP too. He's going to reset. He's then going to tank up one of the minions. Oh no, he's not. Okay, never mind.
They're back away.
They're actually going to choose to disengage here. Okay, then I think the TP was a bit of a waste. I got a little overexcited for nothing. But great team fight from Cloud9 once again. I love that decisiveness. They were like, we have more than enough vision. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And they're able to melt through the objective. RNG have no answer. 6k gold lead now for Cloud9. And again, this win.
This is a best of 3 or single game. This is a single game round robin, double round robin. So they play everybody in the tournament, or that's left in the tournament twice right here. This is the second time versus RNG.
Let's just look back at the engaged. Sven says, you know what? I want to be on the highlight reel too. Chunks out crying. Gala once again forced to use his ultimate initially very early on, but the front line of RNG just disappears. Zhao, who can't do anything.
C9 has to basically beat everybody left other than Damwon to stay in. And so that means they have to beat Mad Lions and PSG Talon. They should likely beat Pentanet. Pentanet's the worst team in the tournament, but they kind of know they are too. So
Cloud9 really stepping up.
that one's kind of a gimme. They have to beat EU and what is PSG? Are they Turkey? To keep a hold on, staying in the tournament to get to the best of 3s.
Cloud9 are 7,000 gold ahead, and I know so many NA fans said a prayer with little hope at the start of the day, wondering perhaps if you could find a win here or there, maybe beat PSG, but you are taking down tournament favorites. And you are doing it in style. The inhibitor tower, now the target. Cloud9 with Baron buff will continue to push in. Look at Gala, he has to go back. He has to retreat. In the face of C9, he is forced to the fountain. Perks going in, another paddle star. You just can't dodge him, he just doesn't miss on this Zoe. He goes in, just dodges wide Xiaohu, and now the inhibitor will be next. Cloud9 unrelenting, continuing the pressure, continuing to force RNG between a rock and a hard place. What decision do you make? Do you engage? Do you go for it? Cloud9 are not giving you a moment to breathe. They're not giving you a moment to think as they look to the Nexus towers. First one almost down. Cloud9 back away just a little bit, just a smidge, just a tad, as they see if RNG will take the bait, will go in. Fudge has the flash kick available. Watch him.
RNG has to, okay, so they put the Rumble ult down, but they disengage, so RNG has to do something. I don't know why Blabber's going in here, but they're doing damage. Okay, okay. If they get Fudge here early, they could be, okay, he's still alive, he's still alive. They stalled though, they stalled. So here comes Cry on the outside. He's looking for a, oh, he might be bursted down. If C9 can get one pick, okay, they got the jungler. Okay, they're still looking for picks. Okay, there it is. That's the game. That's the game right there. Woo.
Down the LPL, and they will continue to give hope to every LCS fan out there.
Look at Blabber over here dancing. I don't blame you, dude. 100%, 100%. Oh my gosh.
It's still a long, difficult path for Cloud9.
That's a big win, though. They can feel good about that win. To C9 play again today.
They don't want to see the Zillion come out. Well, they don't want to see Matt Zillion mid. Remember, we have.
Okay, so verse Mad. Okay, we just watched this one. It looks like this was the last one of the game. No, they play at 2. So we should probably do something else because we can't watch the games live, guys. We're not allowed to do that. And so that means we're behind. Mad vs. Damwon's a pretty big game. Do you guys want to watch another game? Do you want to work on a character and then watch the Cloud9 game later? Or do you want to play some gacha? What you guys want to do? You want me to tell you what I did to the story? What you thinking? So essentially, Smiling Jack, Riot made a thing to where you're not allowed to watch the live. You have to have broadcasting rights, and they're only giving broadcasting rights to like super famous people. I've applied, but I'm a nobody. I think though, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if people would be interested in watching it, but I might take us watching that game and upload it to YouTube. And if people actually like it, then maybe League would give me the ability to do it. Gacha. I don't know what we would play gacha wise. I guess E7, but